And Ryan, welcome to the Mac Reality Check Live. We like to call this the Friday afternoon roll call. And, Jessica's dog is always here for the
Floating
roll
in
call.
midair.
Ghost. She's a ghost.
That's creepy.
And Moni and Jessica don't live in the same house. This is just the stock background.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Which we all used to have, honestly.
We all used to have.
I know. I should figure that out.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I thought that having the word council in your name would mean you'd all be wearing like robes, like a secret society. Like the
you should do that. That's so smart.
Oh,
The robes are hard to get now. Like the tariffs and robes, like a good robe, hard to get. Hard to get. Joanne's Fabrics got closed down too.
They did. Yes, and we've talked about that. So
That
Ryan, welcome to our secret society, the Marketing Accountability Council. You are here, and I am really excited to have you. The way that we came across each other was this guy from Autobound, Jason Howie, used your product, and he used it on me, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And it was literally something that you're going to have to explain to everyone, because when I explained it to the Mac, it took me a few minutes to explain it, but once they got it, they were really excited about it. So I know that you, Ryan, don't necessarily want to talk about your product, Pitchfire.
I will.
But I like the idea of you introducing yourself, giving us a little history about who you are and how it got to the product, and then take us into what this product is and how it works, and then the crew will introduce ourselves as we go through.
Okay, you guys ready? By the way, if people want to grill me today, I just want to recommend you use cooking spray because it'll stick to the grill.
I was just about to say,
kind
of a marinade or a dry rub.
You're gonna fit in real good here, Ryan.
We gotta be careful. We gotta be careful. We don't want to ruin the grill texture. You know how it is. You put something on the grill and it sticks. All right, guys. I'm gonna give you my facts.
You put the spray on your meat, not on the grill.
Whoa.
On the grill and on the meat? Are you serious?
It's too early. Oh, wow. All right. Let's talk about it later. That's contentious. Okay, Ryan, pitch.
Okay, guys. This year, there'll be 647 billion prospecting touches that are sent out to people in an attempt to get a meeting. And nobody in the world likes getting prospected. And you know what the secret is? The people that do prospecting don't like doing it either. They wake up in the morning and they look in the mirror and they want to have a good cry. They're probably crying in the shower a little bit too, if you think about it. I am trying to replace cold prospecting with a paid prospecting platform. And the whole concept behind it is that businesses can join Pitchfire, and they, instead of just getting calls and emails and LinkedIn messages and getting interrupted a billion times a year, by the way, average person gets prospected almost 800 times a year, you can join Pitchfire and answer prospecting and get paid for it. And what we do for people is we make businesses connect with buyers that they're trying to get in front of, and it costs literally, I don't know, 1/78 what it would cost to normally generate a meeting. And on the buyer side, we help people earn extra income when they get prospected by people. And if you're a company watching this and you don't have your employees on Pitchfire, you probably don't care about your employees. I'm challenging you. I'm telling you probably don't care about your employees. That's what Pitchfire is in a nutshell. We're trying to build paid prospecting and replace regular organic prospecting with paid prospecting.
So Ryan, there's has to be a reason why you came up with this idea. What experiences in your past led you to this brilliant idea?
Yeah, my origin story is very similar to Oliver Twist. I was in England in the 1800s. And no, seriously, I was a BDR many, many years ago when I first got out of school. I wanted to work in marketing. I graduated in 2008 when the financial crisis hit. And every person that had marketing jobs that lost their job took the entry-level job. So I had to go scoop and get involved in sales instead. And I cold called and cold emailed and did all kinds of crazy stuff. I used to send music videos to prospects. That got me kind of well known. I got published in a bunch of places doing that. And what happened was I liked prospecting. I approached it like a creative marketer with trying to get in front of people one account at a time. And blew up this company that I worked for called Dyn that eventually Oracle bought. What happened was in 2016, we used to do this state of prospecting when I worked at Lead IQ, where we'd ask people, what's your average reply rate? What's your average connect rate? The first year that we did the survey in 2016, the average reply rate on a cold email was 6%. In the last year we did it in 2021, it dropped down to 0.7%. In 2016, the average connect rate when you call 100 people, you talk to 10 people. In 2021, that dropped down to 3. So I started to see this and say, we're all driving on the highway during rush hour for no reason, when we could all be driving on a new highway that doesn't have as many people on it. And everybody wins when you get prospected on Pitchfire versus normal prospecting. Yes.
Go ahead.
Hi, Jake Sanders. Wait, what? So here's the question. When I brought this and I said, here's this, and they were like, well, that's nothing new. People are giving away Amazon gift cards and stuff. And I was like, that's true. But what you just said really got me thinking. People are selling at higher volumes. They're going to now employ agents, AI, to do this. They're really hard on the SDRs, and the SDRs are hard on themselves. God bless them. Yep. But people are booking deals, making calls, not booking deals. They're making calls. They're knocking, and that's nothing. That's nothing. What's subsisting? Why? Because if I'm the CEO, I'm going to fire the marketer because we're not selling enough, and I'm going to hire more salespeople, and then I'm going to put more money into the sales process. What do you need? You have all my money, and you're telling me that a lot of this is wasted oxygen that does not need to be there. So why does it subsist? Why are people still thinking that sales is the thing that needs to get fixed for the marketing to work?
You know, I think the biggest reason is because people are afraid of change. And the other part is half the people that run companies today are people that worked in sales. Problem is most haven't done a cold call or a cold email in 20 years.
So wouldn't you trust a fast selling? I mean, there is a really weird ethos around sales. I love the salespeople, but they're very into negotiation tactics like Chris Voss, like, oh, I learned how to waterboard people in Iraq. And you're like, well, can I bring that to the boardroom? And you're like, yeah. Say less, because I want to hire a Navy SEALs sales professional over this gingerly little marketer who's like, you need to be creative and you need to tell a story that impacts humanity. And it's like, bro, this person just brought a bazooka of sales. You know, it's a very military, you know, do you think that there's something underneath that too? Like sales is action, marketing is just...
You know what it's like today? Imagine that I am the world's best Major League Baseball hitter, and I hit a home run every time I'm at the plate getting pitched to. You know what the problem is with sales today? They're not even getting a chance to get into the stadium to play, and that's because sales and marketing and prospecting today is like yelling at a stadium. 20 years ago, you could write a cold email to somebody and you'd hear back from 30% of the people that you write to because, holy crap, someone's emailing me that's not just an internal email. That's all gone now. Like, so what we're trying to do is the reason people don't respond to normal messaging anymore is because there's no compensation for them to do it. And if you get hit up with gift cards or cash offers or things like that to go into a meeting, that also doesn't work. Buying meetings is a waste of money.
Can I just jump in here and say, I'm sorry, Ryan, stop. Because I've figured it out. I can personalize every sales message I send. So bye, I'm saying their name in the message. So that's how I do it. People are like,
I sense some sarcasm, Jake.
Well, I'm just saying I can target them with laser precision, again, using military grade satellites. So I don't need to worry about all this. I can hyper target the people that are most likely to buy, and I don't need to buy things because I already know who the people are. What do you say to that?
You could also send them a sequence of 7 emails as well.
That always kills.
Yeah, do you guys know what the average positive response rate is today if you send someone 6 to 15 messages, which by the way, half of reps will?
Are they personalized?
They are with AI messages and things like that. But the problem is we just spent 5 years blasting people with templates and training them to not check their inbox anymore.
Jess has a guess, 3%?
The number is 0.4%. It
Oh.
takes
Yeah, I was going to say
220
one, but yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It
Yeah.
takes 220 steps for a rep to do, like touches, either a call or email, for one of those things to turn into a meeting. 220. And that data is from 2 years ago. It's probably even worse now because all these companies buy like these multiple inboxes and just send even more crap because they're able to do that.
It's just opening. Okay, Mike.
So you certainly don't know this, but I'm a founder of a company that automated the receipt and review of inbound sponsorship proposal requests. And I've been involved in this sort of space I stopped being involved in it in about March, but I was involved in it at this time last year through about March. And the idea of contacting people 7 times, salespeople who were selling sponsorships. When I heard that, I couldn't believe it. I mean, for me, I'm like, if I send someone a message, I will follow up with them, and then I maybe will follow up a 3rd time. There's no way in hell that I'm doing it more than 3.
200.
And that's a combination of me having respect for myself and having respect for other people. And so, but when the salespeople say, no, you have to do it at least 7 times and usually more, I'm like, this system is so just fundamentally dysfunctional and broken.
Can I just jump in here and say you wouldn't have to do 7 touches if you had a brand people knew?
I mean, yeah, you wouldn't have to do that. And
question mark, because then my other question is, no matter how hard you're selling or shaking hands, 5% of the market is going to be ready to do it. 95% is going to be out. So it doesn't matter if you incentivize them or not. They might not make that move because it isn't that time.
Yeah. Sorry, before you even answer that, Ryan. Hi, Moni. I think the distinction here is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, the real problem Ryan is trying to solve for is you can't even get in the room. Like, we can't even get you on the phone. That's first. We can't even get you out the blocks yet. Right. Yep. Then there's the whole get you in the sales process, which I think is what you're talking about, Jake. Like, we can't even get to what you're talking about because, bro, ain't nobody answering their phone. Nobody's looking at your email. Nobody's checking their DMs for you. Like, none of that traditional stuff is even happening.
And what I was trying to say is if I was coming from Disney or Salesforce or Coke, a motherfucker would open up that email. They'd be like, oh, but if I'm coming from rimrangdingdongwidget.com and nobody gives a flying fuck because they don't even know who the hell you are. So you should have done some marketing before you started knocking on doors.
But you were online and you looked for
.com.
Yeah, and then it tracked you and it knew that you were looking for it. So surely you should get an email back. Right?
The problem,
right? But those are still two. There's still 2 separate, slightly things going on because Disney wasn't always Disney. So what happened before that took Disney to get to Disney? Do you know what I'm saying? There was some of what Ryan's trying to say here. So it's like there's only going to be 2 market leaders. Let's be serious, and everybody else is going to try to nip at their heels. But there's still some process of like sales has to do its job. And if it can't get in front of people's faces, the heck are they supposed to do?
And you're right. That was wrong. I shouldn't have said Disney or Coke. I said the D word and the C word.
Okay, got it.
So
thank you for clearing that up.
I'm not saying that they should have been, but those are recognized brands from people that are in market. So I'm just saying, if you had a recognized brand that was from people in market, they would see your email a little differently, maybe. But I think what he's saying is like, I'm getting 17,000 emails a day, can't cut through. Ryan, here's my question. If you had a service, why these people, along with choosing to get pitch fire pitches that they incentivize, which is fantastic, they're also consistently getting hit up with cold emails. Do you reduce that for them in any way? Is there a way for us to reduce that? No, that's just
funny you should ask. I really appreciate that, Jake. So we have plugins that we make for Chrome, Outlook, and Gmail that you install. And anytime someone writes an email to you, instead of you deleting that email, you send them to Pitchfire in one link. And we map it and send it out to a company account for them where they'll go and click in and they can go pitch you and set a bounty for what they want to offer you to answer that pitch. And then if they decide to pitch you, the good news is only 1 in 85 will actually pitch you. The other 84, because we reply back to that message with the plugin, it threads the email and kicks you out of their sales automation. So if you open an email and then send them the Pitchfire, they don't call you. They don't send you a LinkedIn message after, and they don't send you 7 or 8 other emails because it cancels all the follow-up tasks with the reply.
So you have so I'm understanding this correctly. There's the end user and the B2B organization both have to. So as the end user, I have to have the plugin to even make this work.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a flywheel. We have buyers that self-sign up. They join and say, I don't want to get cold outreached or bugged anymore. They install our plugins. The Chrome one's the best one because you can use it on LinkedIn also. But it overlays your inbox, tells you if something looks like it's a cold email or is a tracking pixel. You click a button, it kicks you out of their cadence or sequence. Once in a while, they'll pitch you. It takes like 1 or 2 minutes to answer a pitch. The rest, you're threaded. Usually you won't get follow-up tasks unless they're doing some like weird, like cheap mail merge stuff. Then they're not using any sequencer. But most companies that are trying to sell to you that have any shot at actually getting your business are usually using some tool like Outreach or SalesLoft or Apollo or SmartSeek or one of those companies. So the reply that Pitchfire fires back will cancel those follow-up tasks because they're all programmed to stop the automation after you reply.
Got it. So from a sales standpoint, you're selling to other B2B organizations representing me, the buyer who's going to get pitched?
We kind of have two sides. So we run historically what we've been doing to build the user base is we've been going to companies and saying, hey, put money in Pitchfire and we'll go send people money to come in and answer pitches. What we're moving toward right now is we're actually been having a lot of success with going after startup companies that want to have a procurement process, but don't want to pay a couple $100,000 to have a procurement process. Like, because you start adding SAP, Coupa, and all these other applications, it costs an arm and a leg to do that. Plus, startups hate red tape. Like, you don't want to have to go create a bunch of rules and nerd structure stuff. I just want to punch someone in the face and take their milk money when they suggest that. And I don't even like milk. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get companies to lock the gates for their entire company. And the only way that you can get in is by paying money. And the good news is most companies won't pay you money.
Ryan, you mentioned Outreach and some other providers of information, and we talked a little bit, and there's some juicy stuff that you might want to share or you might not want to share about that landscape that I assure you, Michael and Jake especially, will eat up. So, I mean, this is what leads to pitches. This is the data broker thing. So can you give us?
Yeah. Do you guys know how many people sell your contact data? How many vendors there are?
I already assume it's readily available for. I don't even know why people pay for it. It's readily. You can probably Google and get half my freaking information. So phone number. So yeah, it's out there.
So just looking at G2 Crowd, this is companies that paid for reviews to get on that landscape. There are over 220 companies that have paid to get listed on their sales intelligence landscape. And they're selling stuff from email addresses, cell phones, phone numbers. They all use the same data brokers. So those people are layered in there also. And the way that they get data is totally sketchy. There are some companies, I was telling Jay about this earlier this week. There are some companies that are out there that will go set up honeypot websites that get you to apply for car loans and have a 100% rejection rate just to get your phone number, LinkedIn, and cell phone number. And most of those people that fill that out, that give you that data, they're selling that back to data companies. And they're, how do you get your data? No one's asking that question when you work at a data company. It's a whole sketchy underground world. And I know this because I worked at a data provider for 7 years before I started Pitchfire. I'm looking, people throw rocks at me. I'm part of the problem. I'm trying to fix this now. Now here's the thing. Prospecting is not unethical. I do think there's ethics with it because not everybody has the same privilege. If I didn't have a rich parent and got to go to the same mommy and daddy country club, I'd have no access to some of the people that are decision makers at these places. Prospecting kind of levels that playing field. The issue is that the roads that we use to prospect today are ignored. If you call someone on a phone, Apple and Android both have default features now that will send it right to voicemail. They just launched a new call screening feature that's coming on the next version of iOS that will make the rep have to say who they are and why they're calling before you decide to answer the call. Your inbox providers have added a whole promotions tab into Gmail and Outlook, where if you send an email with any tracking pixel, anything that does click tracking or any of that stuff, it's going to automatically put it in another folder. If you're sharing an SMTP address with 8 other vendors that are doing prospecting, that's not even going to hit the inbox. The last part that's really troubling is during COVID, something happened. If you go back to 2016 and ask people, hey, how did you spend time during your day? How often were you in your email? The average person spent 3 hours and 11 minutes in their inbox. You know what the average time it is now? 38 minutes a day. So you're cold emailing people at a place they're not even hanging out in. And that's another huge problem here. Is there's just not a place for people.
And text used to be like the foolproof way to get attention, but even that is now not as effective as it used to be.
Yeah.
So it's shifting from attention to intention, and I think that's what it is. Ryan, would you be, could we try and show the team what this looks like? You could hit the present. And,
yeah, sure. Let's give it a go.
Would you all like to see that?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Ryan, what's your rev model? Like, are you taking a percentage of these transactions, or what's going on here?
Yeah. So right now we are building. We still are pre-revenue, so we're jerks. We're trying to get adoption to be as high as possible. So this is a real cold email someone sent me. Up here, you can see that has a tracking pixel. I'm just going to hit send to Pitchfire. It's going to go construct and build out a response and send that person to my profile. This is what it looks like when they go there. I set this up. It's all free to use. You make a profile about how you like to get pitched, what vendors you like using. You can put your LinkedIn if they want more data. Anyway, you go here, hit pitch me, and they go write a pitch. They put in a credit card.
We're only seeing the, not seeing the right.
Oh, sorry, guys. Yep, good call, good catch. Sorry. Oh man, I got to redo my presentation now. My flow's ruined for all the people watching. Blew it.
No.
Oh,
Sit down, people.
This is iterative.
Yeah, so go to a profile here that you want to send to the person. This is actually going to switch over to a chat interface in a couple of weeks. We can talk about that after if you guys want to know why. But anyway, hit continue. You send a pitch in, then they ask for a credit card. The reason we have you offer, we do it like Google AdWords. You bid to get to the top of the person's inbox in Pitchfire. So if you're an executive and you don't want to answer every pitch, you could just answer the people that are offering you the most money to answer. One you're in now. Once you get a pitch, it comes in like this with an offer. You can see it's sorted in your Pitchfire inbox. We send an alert to you to let you know they have a pitch waiting for you, and you can respond. And you have to tell them whether you're interested or not. If you're interested, we ask you to give them a little reason of why you're interested, and it books right on the sales rep's calendar. We ask the rep to connect their calendar when they submit their pitch. If they're not, you have to tell them why you're not interested. This takes less than 60 seconds to do. And you can see from my profile when I answer a pitch, you get paid. I've made $1,400 this year answering sales pitches. And I'm like, I'm a tiny startup. We have some users on our platform that have made over $3,000 this year just answering sales pitches.
Yeah.
And the other part is you get added into this marketplace after. So you can go in here and see all the people that have joined, and you can directly pitch them. And that just avoids people calling and emailing you in the first place. So what questions you guys got?
So let's just say I'm me. So I'm, I own my own business. I'm a one-woman shop right now. I get pitched all the time, obviously, as a business owner. Can I use this, or do I have to be a member of some company, or like how does it work?
So the only thing that we ask is you have to. Are you cool if I kill the screen share just so I can look at it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. The only thing we ask is you have to use a work email. And the reason and logic behind that is we need to verify where you work, because I don't want someone to be like, I'm Mark Zuckerberg. You can trust me. Like, I need to actually know that the person says who they are. So we require people to use a work email to do it. You can still send people the Pitchfire from your personal email address afterward, but you require everyone to associate with a work email. So as long as you have a work email address, you can use it.
Yeah, the marketplace sent my brain firing, because I'm like, if I if you get me to just be a part of the marketplace, right? It's just like that. It's a big database for people to sell people to sell into, potentially, depending on what they're selling. And then as me as the user, I'm like, if I'm going to get paid for this, that's the opt-in I'll do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's like all these data providers steal your data, then resell it, and they're all making millions of dollars doing this every year, and you're not seeing any of it. So like, we're building up this big opt-in marketing network of people, and those people get compensated for being in there. Eventually, we'd like to take a 20% cut of every pitch, but like at the end of the day, what I really care about is we're trying to redistribute the marketing acquisition costs that we spend and just give it back to people. I mean, the average person in the United States has $90,000 in debt. Like, that's not including mortgages, by the way. Like, what are we doing spending $3,500 to produce a meeting at a company when I could give that money directly to the people I'm trying to get in front of?
So the only problem that I see with this is it used to be, or I guess it still is, that if you work for a company and say you earn like airline miles or hotel points with your as part of your business expenses, like they won't let you use them as your own. They put restrictions on like what you can earn doing your job for the company. So how many businesses are okay with their people who are getting pitched being able to get paid for getting pitches?
Yeah. So what we're doing is we have the product-led growth motion where people just self-sign up and use it. But we're also going and talking to companies about putting their whole employees on, because there's selfish reasons. If I go get American Express to join Pitchfire, for example, and one person from American Express joins and gets pitched, and they send someone to Pitchfire, and that person says, I'm not going to pay that person. I'm just going to go email and call someone else. All it does is it's kind of like putting a flood up and blocking a dam and sending more cold emails to someone else at the company. That's what a rep will do. On Pitchfire, if you have a full team on, you're 75x more likely to get pitched a second and third time you get sent to Pitchfire by a different member. And the downside of getting pitched at a company is you usually lose somewhere between $1,300 to $1,400 a year in lost wages from employees getting distracted with calls, emails, and LinkedIn messages. I mean, how many of you guys get a message on LinkedIn and it goes on your phone as an alert and you click it and then you doom scroll on LinkedIn for 10 minutes instead of doing your normal job? This is
me, because I don't have LinkedIn.
Except for mine.
That respect. But it's the same thing for other stuff too. I mean, if you get an email on your in your inbox and you see an alert for it and you're in between meetings or something, you're actually cognitive switching and you're not putting focus or effort into the thing that you're doing. So we're trying to. I told you I didn't want to pitch too hard.
No. But we like
explaining.
this. Yeah.
Okay,
You're explaining, which is important.
There's actually a huge problem right now with cognitive switching. We're all getting stupider because we're not doing critical thinking and task because we switch off of things all the time with all the distractions.
I got to stop you right there. I was talking with an attorney last night for an hour and 45 minutes. And
on the clock, did you pay?
Oh no, the bill.
I was not on the clock.
Okay, all right.
And he was telling me that his son has recently stopped using social media. And Jake, I know you'll love this. He's reading books.
No.
And he's like 22 years old. And he said to this guy, John, told me that his son came to him and said, I'm not doing this because I'm afraid. And he said, I don't know if this is the word the right term, but I will get digital Alzheimer's.
Oh,
Yep.
Like he's aware that all this like short attention span theater and everything is like degrading his brain. And he's understanding that this is not good for my health. So I've got to stop.
Yep. It's not if you get interrupted by something, which by the way, that's not even including advertisements, display ads. I mean,
sorry about that.
We've all been in the underground world of marketing. We know the things that we've tried to do to get in front of people and fight for attention. This switching makes us dumber. It's almost like you have you have a trail that we all walk on psychologically to get in a groove and do things. And what we're doing is when we see other stuff, we start walking off the other trail, and then the other trail starts to grow. And it's harder for you to get back to sitting down and actually focusing and thinking for a little while. So like this is another thing we're trying to do to block off some of that problem.
Two things. Yes, love that. That wasn't one of the two. That was a pre. Okay, here's the first one.
Can you make that one of the two? That'd be great. Love that.
Okay. No, AI agents, SDR bots. What if they sign up for Pitchfire? What if somebody's like, I'm willing to send my pitch bot into your Pitchfire?
Yeah.
Have you started thinking about like a robot future where like there's a completely automated layer where sales and pitches are happening away from people, one, and two? And this is, I'm not going to let you answer the first one because I'll forget the second one. The second one was when you pitched, you saw success by being something very distinct and unique and warming up the approach to cold by being creative. And what you're doing with Pitchfire is putting people more in cold. Is there a way that Pitchfire could extend to creating actual fire pitch? Like you're suggesting that these people are showing up with a good fucking pitch? Ha! Oh my God. Oh my God, I love you. But what happened in your personal life was that you came with your full ass and you saw higher conversion rates because you sold with your soul. And I think these people are not going to be taught how to sell with their soul. So what is the real conversion rate when a salesperson brings their full ass to it, or they just say, I'm going to make sure incentives are happening and people are happily paid?
All right. I'm going to try and answer part one. And
Sorry.
real quick. Part one was about AI bots for the people at home. Here's the deal. We actually, I answered this question on This Week in Startups competition. We did like a pitch competition. I'm based in New Hampshire, and we beat Silicon Valley when we were doing like a pitch madness thing. It was cool. But one of the questions that they brought up was like, what are you going to do about AI bots and stuff? So like investors are asking this too.
Sure.
My viewpoint is AI bots right now are just pretending to be humans and send emails and calls and do all this stuff to us. If they're going to do that, and I'm going to take the time and they're not even going to put a human being behind it, I deserve to be compensated for answering that AI bot. And if that AI bot can fund and pay humans, that's win-win for us, especially if we're going to start seeing the deprecation of a 40-hour work week, which might happen too, right?
Sure.
Part two. Oh, go ahead. Anyone want to comment on that before I go to part two?
Okay, go ahead. I'll save the question.
Okay. Part two, you were asking about pitching warming up, and I brought fire. A lot of what I view is like cold emails have been going out since the late 90s with people. The first cold email ever was in 1978. It was some guy trying to sell a seminar at Stanford College, and he emailed every person that was using like the ARPANET, whatever email thing, which is, and apparently it had like good attendance and a crazy reply rate. But what ends up happening with these things is more and more people use them. Pattern interrupts start happening. My vision of this thing is right now it's starting with text and replicating what you do over cold email and text message and LinkedIn message and bring it over to Pitchfire. My vision for this thing eventually is that you might go in and you might get a team to be almost like it might almost be like, hey, we need to make a Super Bowl ad this year. But instead of spending $1 million on a Super Bowl ad, you might spend $30,000 to make an ad for one account you're trying to break into. And it'll be worth it because that account sees your video or thing that you're making for that one account and the quality of your prospecting is that high. You know that you're going to get a 60% response rate, which is what people get on Pitchfire, by the way, right now. So average response rate with a cold email, 0.7%. On Pitchfire, it's 60%.
Wow.
So that's like that's why we're like, my vision for this is if I know that I have a 6 out of 10 chance that the person's actually going to go look at my pitch and answer it, I'm going to freaking work my ass off to make that pitch as creative as possible. Soon you can upload videos, audio, all that stuff.
That's exactly right. I mean, we're talking about, what you did back in the day and what you do. If anyone follows Ryan on LinkedIn, he's wearing a star jacket. He's very charismatic. He personalizes things. Do you have your jacket right there?
I was looking. That's why I was looking to see if it's in here. It's not, but I do have. It's funny. I'm looking at one of my props though. I do have a giant check for some reason in this room. Why do I have a giant check?
I just got one of those giant checks.
It's insane.
No, you did not.
Yes, I have it. I took a photo.
Stop it.
I can get you a giant check.
Everyone's
I think I used it for
Just go catch it.
I think I used it for a product hunt video or something. Like I had a giant check for some reason. All right, what were you saying, Jay? Sorry.
What I'm saying is that, in the Mac, I think one of our visions is to help people who want to express themselves to actually say what's on their mind. That's a journey that I've been on, and we are all working towards. And I really do believe that if people sort of identify these are the 8 companies I want to go after, and I will make a personalized pitch and a personalized attempt to find the right people on LinkedIn and do all that, that works. The reason I know it works is my girlfriend did that. She targeted the event space. She went after 8 companies. She had lunch with someone in the event space, and now she got a job from doing that. But the outreach that she did was personalized. It's like, I know this person who you know. I worked with you 10 years ago, and it worked. But how often do salespeople want to do that when they're incentivized to get 300 people in Salesforce?
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
So I have a question. What is your primary area of focus in terms of driving adoption? Who is the profile of the person that you think this will resonate with? And I understand that you're saying to individuals who are pitched constantly, and I have some people that I want to run this by who are in the brand sponsorship world or brand marketing world who get hit by sponsorship requests. It's crazy. And so you're looking to say to those people, I can get you paid for taking these solicitations unsolicited. But can you go to the salespeople and say, even though you might not want to hear from me right now, there's this Pitchfire thing that I think you should be using. And knowing that as more people get on it, they're ultimately going to benefit from the network effect of that happening. Is that an approach that you're taking or have thought about?
Yeah, it's funny. Right now, we've been really positioning as a marketplace where I have 2 sides, and I've obviously studied the cold start problem with Andrew Chen. I don't know if anyone's read that, but he talks about how to build an atomic network, and the concept behind it is it's better to get a concentration of one type of user over and over and over again. The classic example they use is credit cards, right? Credit cards, when they first launched from Bank of America, that first launched in Fresno, California, they mailed credit card machines to all the businesses that were in Fresno, California. And then they mailed credit cards to all the citizens that lived in Fresno, California, and said, hey, if you use this card at these restaurants, we'll send you a bill in 30 days later on, so you don't have to pay right now. And they did this in Fresno, and a bunch of people started using it. And then they branched out to San Diego. Then they branched out to LA. And before long, Bank of America is one of the largest banks in the United States because they were able to do these micro loan transactions and make a ton of money off of it. And now all these companies do stuff with credit cards.
And they also
go ahead.
Sorry, focused on restaurants, which is even hyper targeted, right? Sorry.
Yeah. No, great. No, I actually didn't know it was restaurants. That's cool.
Diners Club.
Oh, that's whoa. Yeah. I wish I had a green screen. I'd hit an explosion button on it.
That's how it goes. I was always like, Diners Club, what is that? You see that in those movies in the 80s. You're like, oh, is this played out? I don't know what I'm getting. But we were getting touched.
Yeah. So I'm trying to do the same thing. Right now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. The concentration hasn't been great. We were really trying to go after, at first, B2B go-to-market people that worked at companies, usually 200 to 1,000 employees. And we did okay, but the truth is I actually really want to try and go after more smaller and mid-sized companies because there's less red tape. I don't want to deal with security review things with people.
You
and
need
like-
you need to immerse yourself in the sponsorship sales industry.
yeah, maybe I don't, I'm not very familiar with that space, so it'd be cool. I mean,
I am.
as a sponsor,
Ryan, I told you, he's in the square above you. He's from the Boston, New Hampshire area. This is your connection.
Michael, what are we doing? We should be arm wrestling right now.
Yeah.
Let's get coffee or something. But
Over the top.
yeah, so I'm great movie. The world doesn't meet you halfway. That's actually what it was originally called. But anyway, that's right. Over the top reference. People didn't know they were going to get that today. My perspective. Sorry, I'm talking so much, guys. But
No, it's perfect. I love it.
Well, this
okay.
this is
I'm
good.
just trying to keep it going. My perspective on it is like I would actually I really want to get this to have full teams, and it's a lot better if full teams use it. So like that's kind of like the area we're going to try and focus on next.
Here's one of the things that I'm just thinking of. You just said that the cold calling thing was floating on a cloud of nonsense because no one was getting through, no one was. But also, I'm wondering, is that related to the adoption rates that you're seeing? Because you're kind of built this product off of an ecosystem that's sort of disappearing.
Yeah. I think part of it. Have you guys ever heard of the outbound paradox?
Mm-mm.
So I think I talked about this with you, Jay, a couple weeks ago or whatever we first talked. But the concept of the outbound paradox basically is what happens is over the past 10 years, companies are doing more volume. They're sending more emails and doing more calls because they're getting less replies from people.
Mm-hmm.
But what it's
And
actually
you will continue until morale improves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send more.
So they keep upping the amount of touches they're supposed to do every day. Like reps have activity goals and stuff. And one of the issues with that is that it's actually training prospects to not look at email and not look at phone because the volume's so massive. So what ends up happening is their reply rates go down even more. And eventually it's going to trend towards zero. We're going to get there at some point. It already has for me. I don't answer
Well, the
anything.
zero click renaissance is happening in marketing, and they're talking about people don't actually click anymore and you should be okay with it. And you're like, oh, people don't go to your they don't go to your site anymore and you should be cool. And you're like, actually, okay, we're feeling good about this. But yeah, zero.
So last year around this time, I had a encounter with some sponsorship salespeople, and when they told me about the seven contacts to get a response, and it was amazing to me how not any of them, I mean, there was like 15 of them in this Zoom call, and not any of them understood the math. They thought I'm making 7. They weren't thinking, well, the 15 other people on this call are making 7 too.
Oh,
They were like oblivious to it. And I was just like, how can you be so naive? You're going to make sure that no one responds to anything anymore because they're so overwhelmed. So anything that is a gold nugget that passes their way, they're going to miss it because they're just going to throw everything away. And that's what's happening with AI-driven content now. People are rejecting everything, even if there's real stuff that's good, because they think it's all fake.
It made me think of, you guys know, like the Scott Brinker MarTech landscape.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, love that. Love to zoom in and out of that. at
Still
my
can't see
leisure.
it. So you can zoom in 1,000 times. You can't see
Zoom
it.
in.
Every person that's like good in marketing or something is like, oh, I gotta go find myself in there. They like go scroll in. But
Good luck.
The other problem with it that everyone seems to forget isn't that like, oh, there's so many companies that you can buy from, and there's so many companies. A lot of reps are like, oh, all these companies are people I can prospect. That's usually what like a sales or B2B company's thinking of when they see it. The thing you're forgetting is every single one of those companies has a sales team that's doing prospecting every day.
Can I ask a question? When you've sold things, is it because you sold it or is it because they bought it? Because I think there could be differences here. Like because I just saw a stat that said 70% of your return on advertising spend has nothing to do with your ad. Has nothing to do with your ad. It has everything to do with the internal states of the people that were on the other side of it and said, oh, I'm actually cool. I want to buy that thing. Oh, I'm actually cool. I see that. Maybe that's a thing. But a lot of us are saying change the creative. We can scale how many emails we send. We can scale how many messages we send. We can scale how personalized it could be. We can send it to everybody. We can send 1,000 different messages to 1,000 different people. And you're like, it doesn't fucking matter, because they're not going to buy no matter what you do, no matter how much woo you pitch. If they're not ready for marriage, you're not going to Hollywood. And I messed up that metaphor.
I think the thing you're kind of
He messes up a metaphor in every call, by the way.
It's a guaranteed.
I was going to try and land it for you, but
don't worry. Don't do that. Don't be my Sully.
Listen.
He'll land the plane at the 10th hour. That's what he says every
Just
time.
into New Jersey. Okay, keep going.
If you're sullied, is that who's the bird?
Well,
Is it me?
the audience. Anyway, the audience is the bird strike. Keep flying.
So one of the things that like I'm definitely kind of seeing that happens now is it's really about like, it's kind of like this is going to sound corny and go back to like B2C brands a little bit, but my viewpoint on marketing in general is like, it's really just about getting people to keep hearing about you so that they feel left out. And it sounds kind of dumb, but like the zero click movement's part of this too, kind of, but you want to get people to like keep seeing you over and over again. So that doesn't matter that your product, like, look, I'll give you a really good textbook example of this, right? Do you guys remember when Drift came out? Like half these tech companies were using Intercom, and people switched to Drift even though it did the exact same thing. And like part of it was I'm in Boston, so like I'm north of Boston, so like I'm in the culture of watching like Drift blow up at that time and seeing a lot of people talk about it. But there was also a lot of people that just kind of felt like they were left out because all these people were doing cool things and feeling vibes with it. And honestly, it was all kind of marketing bullshit. But people did it. And it's because they kept staying top of mind. And then when that Intercom renewal came, they were like, maybe I should move over to Drift. And they had one feature that was different than Intercom, basically.
I remember them. I haven't heard from them in a while. What happened to them? They're done?
They got acquired by Vista Partners, which is a private equity firm. And then Vista Partners merged them with SalesLoft, a sales engagement platform that, Pitchfire helps combat.
They had a really very CEO that spoke a lot, right? Was that the one with that Dave Gerhard guy?
Yeah, he's doing the Exit 5 community now. But like to keep it back to Sly Stallone for Jake, who referenced it earlier, in a lot of ways, I feel like Drift was like the Clubber Lang of B2B. Like they came up, the Mr. T character in Rocky 3, he had a quick montage, came up, was the champion for a while because Rocky was retired, and then it was like we never heard from him again. Like, why isn't Clubber? Where's Mr. T in the Creed reboots when they did the reboots for Rocky?
Oh my God, big question. Huge question. Oh, we're not ready for that.
I have another question about value propositions on the buyer side.
Yeah.
I was researching a potential product development new product opportunity for another company, and it was in the sponsorship sales space, and it was basically a anonymous RFP system that would allow a buyer to indicate what it is that they're looking for, and then have obviously people who thought they could meet those requirements respond to them without knowing who they're responding to, so they could protect their identity. And what it seems to me like is you can tell people that they can get paid for getting pitched, but at the end of the day, they still have got a job and they still have things that they're trying to accomplish. And the only reason that this situation exists in the first place is because we have this tension between marketing and sales, where marketing gets the short shrift and all this emphasis is put on sales. And so like what Jake was saying about his bazooka were sales, it's true. And so no one has any information about who they should be contacting, because no one on the buy side is giving out any information about what it is they're interested in. So there's this massive disconnect of information sharing. And Jay and I were talking about this yesterday, about how we live in this world where we expect institutions to be able to figure everything out. As for us as individuals, But what we don't understand is we have to share information with those institutions back and forth. Otherwise, we're just constipated. We can't move forward or make any progress or solve any problem on anything. So would it have been something that you've thought of, and would it be something that you think would be beneficial to include, hey, put out what it is you are looking for, so when you get pitched things that you're not interested in, you can actually start priming the pump and sharing what it is you're actually interested in while protecting your identity, so that you can be pitched by people who actually have a solution for what you're looking for.
Right, that's great. I'm doing an RFP on this.
Let's get paid. So we're getting paid right now, aren't we?
Who's I'm not paying you guys, right?
Well,
Damn it.
Hold on, guys. I'm gonna give you a check.
You got your check.
Oh no!
Upside down.
He brought it back.
I'm gonna future date it. I'm gonna future date it 10 years out. You guys can cash it then. I promise it's good.
We're
I got a
shareholders.
couple credit cards
Okay,
here. Okay.
So
all right.
Ryan, let me ask
is that,
you.
so is that a yes? Is that a yes or a no? Was that, or
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah. Jessica, I want to make sure we get to your question in a sec, so don't lose it. I've actually been thinking about this a lot with the, can I tell you how I've been thinking about it? You know how companies put job postings up? You put job postings up on LinkedIn or one of these places, and hundreds of people will apply, and you get rejected or accepted on those job postings, and there's no person that's responding. It's the company that responds. We have this whole culture of making someone go through a process like that. I've actually been thinking about this with vendors. Like, what if I'm looking to fill up, I need to do 14 events this year. I need to find conferences that have B2B startup executives at it. Go apply. This is my budget. Go apply to give me a piece of that budget. And we could have companies go in and bid almost like what the government does with construction jobs and stuff. And so I've been kind of thinking about that a little bit, like almost like creating a job application process, but except for vendors. When you're looking for something.
Fiverr exists. This is what
That marketplace is your money, Ryan. I've been thinking about this whole call. Like, there's so many things you can do with that.
Just got to get people. I got to get people in it. That's the hardest part.
But how do you start to weed out the bullshit that's going to come? Like, if there's an opportunity to make marginal costs off of a big budget where you can just leak a little bit out here and there for a prospecting call. So where are all the people going to come that are trying to get that? Like, how do you, I see a lot of, so sorry to cut you off, Monique. I completely agree. And that's where I'm seeing the opportunity for gaming this system, right? Like anything, it can get swamped with, you know, let's say, if salespeople work off commission, then they'll, you know, take so many calls, and then they have that margin of between the prospecting cost and then the lead that they're, you know, collecting. And then startup founders taking meetings they don't plan on pursuing, like a timeshare vacation, or like reverse inbound marketing. So prospects will be like reaching out to sales teams saying, this is how, you know, I might want your product, but this is how much it's going to cost to pitch me.
Let's share the revenue between us when I pitch you and pay. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and that is a redistribution of money, which is cool. But at what point do you know, leaders at companies say, no, we're not participating in this. We're not buying.
Yeah, there are two ways that we're going to address this. The first is obviously that all right. So the thing that I just want to make sure hits home with everybody, you're paying for a response. You're not paying for a meeting. So like, people get paid the same to say no as they do yes. It's literally the same thing that would happen with outreach, except you're actually hearing back from every person that you prospect. So like that kind of gets rid of some of the, for example, when we actually first started as a company where you could go buy meetings. We did that for 2 years and it failed. And the reason is because a lot of people would they'd get paid $200 to go to a meeting. 5 minutes in, they know it's a bad fit. And the AE that's selling to them knows it's a bad fit, but no one wants to say it, so they keep going for another 25 minutes.
It's the brand innovators model, Jay.
Oh,
wait, is that? I don't know what that is. What is that? Is that like a thing, like a joke?
This is a thing.
You know, you go to these conferences and you're hounded by a salesperson.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so like you end up paying money for someone to go to a meeting, What's even worse is we did a study where we broke down our users. We only have a couple thousand, but it was enough to get 30 is a good sample size for this. We actually surveyed out our Gen Z people. The Gen Z people, some of them went on to do the second and third calls because they didn't want to confront the rep to tell them they weren't interested.
Avoiding hard conversations.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So
This
we
is what we talked about with the Nathan Fielder example, right?
Oh yeah. If you've watched the rehearsal, like pilots are not confrontational with their partners and stuff.
I'm gonna have to leave in a minute. We could do after.
Let's land the plane. Land the plane.
Okay. All right. We got to land the plane. How do you guys usually do this? Am I landing it or are you guys landing it?
You gotta land the plane.
Okay. Listen, everyone at home. For years, there were ride sharing companies that were out there. There were like 4 other ride sharing companies that were around before Uber got traction. It took Uber 4 years to break 1,000 users. The reason that things took off is because everyone finally said, you know what? It's time. It's time for us to stop taking cold calls and cold emails. It's time for us to stop spending trillions of dollars on B2B market acquisition costs. Let's get that money back to people. Let's have fun. Let's live life. Let's all buy sunglasses.
4 more years. 4 more years.
Drop the mic.
Let's hope
Thank
they
you.
are profitable before Uber. I mean, they became profitable in 2023.
And
so.
you have to diddle. Don't you have to diddle some of the employees too? If you're doing the full Uber play, you have to like diddle people or
What does
like
that
What does that
mean?
mean? Does that have
Guys
anything to do with
are
Sort of
city?
sexually harassing people. What did that Travis Kalanick do? Didn't he like kind of like wasn't he pausy? Didn't he like talk shit to people? Are we recording?
railed it.
We landed the plane. We landed the plane.
It's fine. Get off the plane.
It was a mic drop, Brian. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to
Thanks,
end the
guys.
stream right now.
Oh yeah.
But I definitely look forward to more conversations. We're going to do that wrap of all the stuff you talked about. There'll be an article. And if you want to maybe, I don't know if you have an affiliate link, you send me a link so we could know if anyone came from the mat.
Okay, I'll make that, but I will do that after. Everyone, thank you for listening. Even if you don't like us, last thing I just want to plug, if anyone hates going to normal marketing conferences, I'm throwing a go-to-market summer camp in New Hampshire in September. You can stay overnight. It's literally an overnight summer camp with bunk beds and stuff. I hope all you guys go. It'd be really fun.
That sounds amazing, man.
Yeah, hit me up if you want to go. I'll give you info on getting tickets and
I'll
stuff.
put the details in the article.
Cool.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, Ryan.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Great
you,
meeting
Ryan.
everyone.
Thank you for sharing. We should
Thanks,
talk.
guys.
Thank you.